Hello, Cruising World. Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday. Monday is Tips Day. And today, believe it or not, I have tips from Stephen and Nicole. Really, it's from Stephen and Nicole from their recent cruise on Carnival Miracle. Doesn't Carnival Miracle seem to be dominating my tips recently, and is primarily European cruises? I think this is the third one in 4 weeks. We've had Miracle tips. Maybe the third in 3, I don't remember. I know it's Miracle. It's a miracle. But yes, so this is from Stephen and Nicole. If you know, you know. Don't get mad at me, Sean. Don't get mad at me. As usual, I have not read these. We're going to read and react as we go. And I know that Stephen and Nicole are massive, massive casino players. So I'm fairly confident there'll be a lot of casino tips in here. So if you like casino stuff, pay attention to what I'm about to say. Stephen and Nicole. Not Sean Kelly. No, Stephen and Nicole. There's been some confusion lately is what I'm saying. If no casino bar. Knew it. You might be able to get free drinks on your casino deal at the bar closest to the casino. On our cruise, we bought 2 glasses of wine at the lobby bar, and the bartender asked for both of our cards, and there was no charge. This continued for the cruise. A nice surprise. I think it meant we were, not we. You know the we, Stephen? We. Not Sean. We were not playing in the casino at that time either. If there is a seated lunch in the dining room... we're on to the next tip. You know, it helps if you put spaces, not continue the same line. Paragraphs, Stephen, paragraphs, not Sean. So yeah, that first one, I can't speak to. I gamble a little bit. You know, and I've got this thing, right? And I'm getting fed up with people telling me they gamble $50 a cruise and get a free cruise. I mean, I just don't buy it anymore. Because I've been gambling a decent amount. I've been playing blackjack, not slots to be fair. But I've been putting 200 here, 100 here, you know, and I've been getting up to 500 points. And I got nothing. And so many people insist that for years they've had free cruises and all they do is bet $50 on the cruise. I ain't buying it anymore. But anyways, so what you get there, I even know what that means. I do think that you're supposed to be only getting free drinks when you are actively playing in the casino. I think that's correct. So I think what Stephen is saying is that they got free drinks in the lobby bar and they weren't even playing, which how would you in the lobby bar, by the way? And that's that. Oh, look who's here. Amazon man. Bring in my white socks for my new white suit. Anyway, and apparently they had a wee. Next, if there is a seated lunch in the dining room on a sea day, check-in on the app starts 10 minutes to opening. I think you mean prior to opening. Somebody didn't proofread, and you know if you don't proofread, as I read it, I'm going to pick up on it because I'm reading it live. If there is a seated lunch in the dining room on a sea day, check-in on the app starts 10 minutes to opening. Prior to opening. So be ready to check in on there or there might be a long wait if busy. And I can back that up because sea day brunch, which is I'm assuming you're talking to, not lunch. No, seated lunch in the dining room, not sea day brunch. I know sea day brunch, for example, there is usually a very long wait, and not only a very long wait, but once you get in, it's very slow service. Because I think they're short-staffed. So not slow service, they're short-staffed. So as quick as they can with the staff they have. So expect to wait. When you bring wine on board from ports of call, Europe, only wine less than 15% alcohol content is allowed to be consumed on board. I wrote this in a hurry. When you can bring wine on board from ports of call -Europe only wine less than 15% alcohol content is allowed to be consumed on board. All I know is Red Stripe is 4.65%. But, take that for what it is. You're all going to go and grab a can of Red Stripe and check it now, aren't you? See if I'm making that up. Maybe I am. Maybe I had good poker face and I sounded so convincing it was there. So I guess check if you're in Europe, which I'm assuming that's what it means because the wording is terrible. Stephen, 15% alcohol content. Make sure it's less than that. Next, bartenders in our casino were willing to bring 2 drinks at once, a beer and a Coke or water. Okay. I guess like in Cheers you'd have to wait 5 minutes for the next one, so they were nice. But it takes them so long to run it. Maybe, here's what I reckon they did. They charge you for the beer, which isn't wine, so it's less than 15%. The beer brought you the beer and the Coke, and then by the time they got back, they could run the Coke, because it's 5 minutes after they ran the beer, because they're so busy, they wouldn't have time to do 2. Genius. Alchemy Bar is very busy at times. Before early dining. Oh, God. I'm telling you, there's a reason I should read these in advance before. The punctuation on this may be some of the worst I've ever seen, Stephen. Alchemy Bar is very busy at times. Dash. Before early dining time. No dash. But is quiet at other times. Dash. What about commas? After early dining is seated. Plan accordingly. I get it now. Alchemy Bar is very busy at times, especially before early dining time, but it is quiet at other times, especially after early dining is seated. Plan accordingly. Got it. I wouldn't imagine on a European cruise that the Alchemy Bar would be that busy, though. Am I wrong in suggesting this? And I actually talked to some bartenders about this last week. I was on the Mardi Gras and we were in the Brass Magnolia and we were commenting on how quiet it was in there at times. And they brought this up and it made total sense to me. That certain bars on Carnival, for example, are Cheers package bars, right? Because the drinks are more expensive. Alchemy, Brass Magnolia on the XL ships, whatever they call it on the others, so these are drinks that people not necessarily want to pay for the regular price, but if they have Cheers, they will. So if there's not a lot of Cheers packages on board, they're not as busy. Maybe that's me putting 2 and 2 together and making 5, but I wouldn't imagine on a European cruise that there are that many people that have Cheers. Unless there's a lot of Brits. A lot of drinking, a lot of Cheers packages. But yes, the Alchemy Bar is often very busy. I don't think we went there once on the Mardi Gras last week because we spent all our time at the Brass Magnolia because the bartenders were wonderful. I'm sure they were in the Alchemy too. But I don't know. Oh, there's a lot of tips coming up here. I should do this over 2 weeks. Stephen. Yes, I think I've waffled. No, we're going to keep going. I'm going to give you a bonus long tips week this week. Because it's confusing enough already. That's why it's taking so long, because I've got to explain all the punctuation. When leaving the ship at docked ports, we would be at the top of the stairs on deck 1. If using... You need commas, not dashes. When leaving the ship at dock ports, we would be at the top of the stairs on deck 1 if using deck 0 for gangway. That's what commas make you read it as. Dashes make you pause. When we knew the gangway was out and were off the ship prior to any announcements. Hold on, I'm going to read that again, and then I'm going to stop and do the next lot next week, because this may take a while. I'm backing up everything I said. When leaving the ship at docked ports, we would be at the top of the stairs on deck 1, dash. If using deck 0 for gangway, dash. When we knew the gangway was out and were off the ship prior to any announcements. I'm going to try that one more time. When leaving the ship at docked ports, we knew we would be at the top of the stairs on deck 1 if using deck 0 for gangway. When we knew the gangway was out and were off the ship prior to any announcements. Does that make sense to anybody? I mean, the gangway's always on deck 0, or nearly always on deck 0, especially on the older ships. And if you're on deck 1, by the way, that reaction was me getting a zap. That's how much this, and I haven't had a proper zap in quite some time. So that's how much this punctuation is getting to me. Oh, that was a big zap. If you saw the way I paused then, it's like... I'm going to read this out. You can see if you can make sense of it. And then, Stephen, if you could put in the comments what you actually mean. Or anybody else. There goes another zap. See what you do to me. Another zap. If you don't know, I have some nerve issues in my head. But they've been under control. They've been really good for about 3 weeks. Now, suddenly... I'm going to read it one last time. I'm going to come back next week and do the other half of these. Somebody please explain this to me in the comments, because I can't understand what is written here. I'm going to do it slowly for Stephen's purpose. When leaving the ship at docked ports, we would be at the top of the stairs on deck 1, dash, if using deck 0 for gangway, dash. When we knew the gangway, zap, was out and were off the ship prior to any announcements. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Primarily because my head is going off right now. Secondarily, I have no idea what that means. Because they don't normally let you wait on deck 1. They make you go up to like deck 3. In general, I don't understand that, and it's not often I say that. I'm very polite, usually. Don't understand that one. And with that, we will do part 2 next week. Hopefully, miraculously, my zaps go away, and the punctuation gets better. Because the person that wrote this, and you know who you are, go back to your email and take a look. I will see you later, Cruising World. Well, thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. You'll get notifications when future videos come out. And also, you'll see to the left and right of me, there are some more of my videos you can watch. Also, you can join my lovely little channel here. Hit that join button next to the subscribe button on my main page. We have 3 different levels you can join at. And if you join at the highest level, I will name a suit after you. And every time I wear that suit, I'll have your name in the pocket. I will sing your name to the rafters, maybe even at karaoke.